Yo, what is up guys, Sam Pack here, back with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the newest Zoom65 V3, and we're going to unbox it together and tell you some of my thoughts of what I liked and disliked about the board. And I do gotta say though that this keyboard is probably the most versatile keyboard I've ever tried out so far, meaning there's tons of options to choose from. No, I mean like there's a lot of options. So let's see if all these changes made the Zoom65 better. So let's get into the unboxing. So here's the box that the keyboard comes in. It has some zebra stripe designs on it. And here we got 4 different modules that you can upgrade to, which are the telescope badge, the dot badge, the magnet badge, and the 1U key module. And there's also an option to have the knob also, but we didn't receive that option. And here's all the mounting system screws and accessories, and we'll get into those a little later. And here's the case that the keyboard comes with. Just note that there's no handle on this case, so it's technically not a carrying case, it's just a protective case. And here we got a nice coiled cable in case this is your first custom keyboard. And here's all the foam for the board. You got the PCB, pour-on, and case foam. And this version is the 1.2mm flex PCB. They will have a 1.6mm non-flex available as well. And this is the USB receiver to go wireless, and this will also have Bluetooth capability, which can connect up to 3 devices. And here we got the carbon fiber plate and the palm plate. And in here we got some Wuche Studio stupid stabs. I honestly don't know why they call it that, but these are the clip-in stabs that we're going to use for our build. And here are the 2 batteries and some feet and screws. And now finally, here's the case. This is the E-white colorway with the tail light accents. And here's how the back looks. This one came with the gold telescope badge. So let's first look at some of the new changes that were made to this board. So first thing is that they went with a screwless case system. So they went with a catch ball screwless system that allows you to disassemble the upper case super easily. And I feel like they chose this because since they have tons of mounting systems, you want to be able to take the case apart fast and easy. So I think this was a good decision for Melotrix, and this definitely helped a lot while I was testing out all of those mounting styles. So the second change is that the PCB now connects the daughter board via magnets. They're no longer using JST cables to connect the PCB to the daughter board, and it's a lot easier to align your PCB to the case. And you guys have probably seen this already from the Neo boards. And the third major change was adding tons of mounting systems. And this is the first keyboard I've ever seen that has a total of 7 mounting systems. And on the screen is all of the mounting styles you can choose from. And still to the end, I'll tell you guys which one were my favorites and which ones were my least. And the fourth change was adding an option to have not only a knob on the top right, but also have the option to have a LCD screen with also, you can have different badges, things that are magnetic and interchangeable, and also being able to have a 1U key up there as well. And I personally like having the LCD screen up there, which comes by default. And check out my little pager here, he's mad cute. The fifth change you guys have probably noticed is that they added an option for the LED strip across the middle case. Unfortunately, during my installation process, I actually broke the LED strip because the adhesive kept coming off while I was trying to put the case back together, and it kept getting caught by the ball catch system. So Melotrix said that they were making changes to the final version, so this issue won't happen, so no need to worry about that. So really sorry I'm not able to show you guys that part, but you guys can check out all those photos. And the last couple of changes is that they added magnets to the bottom of the case where that telescope badge is, and I thought this is really cool. And they have a cutout for your USB receiver for your board so you don't lose it and always have it with you. And one last thing is that you can choose to get a Hall effect module for the Zoom65 V3 for people who want to use this for gaming, and this option will be available a little later though. So that's a lot of things that they changed in this board, and honestly this board was up for a nice refresh because the V2 didn't really have much major upgrades compared to the V1. So this time around the V3 feels like a totally completely new board with a lot of nice upgrades. So next, let's take a look more at the design of the case. So this board has a typing angle of 6.5 degrees and has a forehead height that comes in at about 22.33mm, and this board weighs about 3 pounds fully built. And overall design of the case, it's pretty similar to the previous board, and the shape is pretty similar as well, with nice rounded corners, has nice medium-sized bezels, and again with that centered USB-C port. So I tested every single one of these mounting systems with a carbon fiber plate using the WS stupid stabs, the NK Silk Olivia switches, and also the Gray Skies PBT keycaps. And I wasn't able to try out the top mount because the screws that came with it wouldn't work for me for some reason, but here's a couple of short sound tests of each of them. So here's my thoughts on the mounting systems. I personally really like the Silicone Gel and the leaf spring mounting systems. I think both had a similar typing feel. Both were more on the stiffer typing side, with the leaf spring being a little bit more flexible. And both of these had the best sound response for me. And they also had the least amount of case ping because the PCB and the plate weren't moving around in the board too much. And I'll explain why I say this. So I really didn't like the spring mount, the Maglev, and the O-ring mount because mostly of one reason. Since they all don't allow the PCB and the plate to be fixed inside the case, while you're typing, you can kind of hear it move around the board a bit, and I really didn't like that sound and that feeling because it felt like the whole PCB and the plate were shifting around the case like a seesaw effect, and it doesn't really have like a fixed pivot point, so it felt like there was kind of that rocking back and forth while you're typing. And although they give you the most flexible typing experience than the Silicone Gel and the leaf spring, I just wasn't a fan of it. And the most intriguing one to me was definitely the Maglev mount because I've honestly never seen that before, and in my mind I was like, dang, this mounting system could be pretty game changing. And I was hoping that this was going to be the best mounting system, but because they wanted to add other mounting systems to this board, they had to add more mounting points to the plate itself. So when you do use the Maglev system, the mounting points that you're not using, it's hitting inside the case railing, so you get some unwanted plate hits within the case and while you're typing on it. So to me, it was like a really cool idea. I just don't think it was delivered properly. Maybe if they dedicated a keyboard to just this mounting style, maybe that'll be better, but yeah. So in my opinion, I would definitely go for the Silicone Gel mount or the leaf spring. It just gave the best feel in my opinion. But overall thoughts on all of the mounting systems, I just felt like they were all kind of similar in terms of how the board sounded per se. None of them gave a drastic sound profile change or typing feel, just added a little bit of small nuances here and there, but overall I felt like they could have narrowed it down to maybe just a couple of mounting systems since they all felt really similar. And while I was going through each of them, I was expecting, something different between each of them, but pretty much they ended up sounding kind of the same, just a little bit stiffer and less stiffer than the other. So having all these mounting system choices, I felt like they didn't really add much value, so I would have just narrowed it down to maybe just a couple of them. So my final thoughts is that this board is definitely for people who are slowly getting into the hobby, or someone who doesn't want to be that serious in the hobby either and just want a better wireless mechanical keyboard for their desk setups. I still think you're getting a pretty good value for the amount of features and customability that you can get with this board, and but you could obviously get really lost in the sauce with the amount of choices you can choose from. But if you're someone who's already in the hobby and already has a couple of boards that's looking for that next upgrade, I honestly don't think this would be for you. The Zoom65 has always been a pretty standard, good entry-level keyboard for the past couple of years, but nowadays, in my opinion, it is lacking that sound profile that I know that other keyboard companies have proved that you can get a better sound within this price point. But with all that said, I would still recommend this keyboard to newcomers in the hobby, but not for already enthusiasts. So the Zoom65 V3 will start at $179 and $189 for the taillight version, and be sure to check out all of the add-ons for this board, and there's going to be different special versions of this case as well. And of course, all of my affiliate links will be down in the description down below. But what do you guys think of this keyboard? I'm honestly really excited for people who are just getting into the mechanical keyboard scene right now, because there's so many options that you can choose from than there was 4 to 5 years ago. And options like this Zoom65, I really think it helps a lot of people dive right into the hobby, which is really exciting. And I love Mellatrix for trying new things, being innovative, and I know their next couple of keyboards are gonna keep pushing those limits, and I honestly can't wait to see what they have in the future. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a comment down below if you guys are gonna pick this one up, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.